Okay, so she had some time to dry, and you can see the front, all the planking, all the way to the back, where the rudder is going to be, and the captain's quarters. So this is all set. We're ready to go. We're ready to move up. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to continue to plank, and we're going to go all the way up to the top. So let me get it where you guys can actually see the entire ship. And that's a little bit better. So right in the back, we're going to plank all the way up. We're going to cover this section. We're going to have to keep the holes open. I'm not quite sure what these are for yet, but then we have the cannon, and we have these holes were just to guide into where the bulkheads are, so these will be covered. We're going to go all the way across to here, to this bulkhead, and eventually we're going to put the walls on, and we got to kind of frost the front part of this section for the forecastle deck. So let me put her aside, and I want to show you guys what I mean, what we're going to do. Looking at my notes, again, this is section 11 of my notes, and this is part B for section K of the manual, because it may be mundane stuff, but it's very time consuming doing all the planking and getting everything ready. So what we're going to do with this video, is we're actually going to continue up the side to the poop deck. Then we got to trim off the excess in the back, and again we got to put the walls in the front on where the forecastle deck is, and we got to cut out the holes for the cannon and those little rectangles underneath. So I think what we can start doing right now is, let's bring the ship back, and what we're going to do is we're going to continue the upward drive of the planking. So let's get a few planks ready. All right. So the way they're going to go is we're going to actually stop at this bulkhead right here. Let me see if I can put something underneath. There. All right, so it's going to go from here, and that's going to go down to the front. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll glue the sections. Again, it'll be this bulkhead. So what we got to do is I'm going to start the nail at the very end into the first bulkhead, and once we get that nailed in, it'll be a little bit easier, but we're going to have to get this in place. So I'm thinking, let me just do it like this, just to get it in position. Okay, so we got the first one in, so let's see how easy it'll be now to do the rest. And again, there's a slight angle to it, so I'm going to have to hold the plank in position as we go along. So let's put the next pin in, and I got to hold it in position. And then it looks like we're going to do this one. you can see, we have these little areas over here that need to be open. Okay, so we get those areas cut out, and then we'll file them down a little bit later. All right, let's see. The next section, we're going to have to hollow out or cut out the cannon ones, as well as the tops of these things. So let's put up another layer of the glue. You can always tell when a nail drives in and you hear it hit that sweet spot where you know it's going to be. And just like when you're nailing studs and you're putting a frame together and you get that sound where you know the nail is going into a nice meaty part, into that sweet spot of the frame. So let's see, I'm gonna have to hold it like this. Do it that way. Okay, let's see if we can take off or open up these holes a little bit more. All right. So that looks good. I'm going to keep that clamp for now because we're going to do this section, and we're going to cut it actually because we're going to get to the first cannon opening. So we're going to go from here right about there. So we're going to trim that out as we need. So let's put a little bit of the glue on this section. We'll put the first strip of this section on. All right, now we're going to go from this one, and we're going to cut across to that one. So let me, with emery board, we're going to file this one down. Now we'll do the center one. So let's get another piece ready. All right, let's do the next section. I think what we're going to have to do, I think we can do one piece all the way across. Let's get a fresh plank. Yeah, and what I'll have to do is I'll have to trim out the cannon sections. All right, I think I'm going to start the next level because I want to wait until this is completely dry before I trim out the cannon holes. All right, I think a couple of things we need to do now. We're going to put the walls on over here. All right, what I think I'm going to do first is we need to streak this with the white paint. So I'm going to get my brush. See how it's just kind of just like frosting. To highlight the edges of mine. So that'll be the front, and that'll be the back. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see. I don't know if I had to or not, but I just wanted to nail it in just to give it a little bit more security. And we got to make sure that it's level. It looks good. And when it comes to the walls that are going to go on the side, there are these little indentations. show you guys what it looks like from the front and from the sides. I'm thinking we're going to plank up to the top, but I'm not sure yet. We just have to make sure that these walls are closed in with the other corners, and everything is nice and snug and squared off. So that's in. So now we can go ahead and we can do a little bit more on the plank. All right, now we're going to start to work our way down. And there's one over here. I'm going to let that glue harden a little bit, then we'll put a nail in. That way there we'll be able to cut that section. Alright, so that's looking good for the front. Okay, so you can see we got the cannon holes cut out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to file them down when I know exactly the shape. So I want to let everything absolutely set first before I file it, just to make sure nothing comes loose. So let's put the next row on. There. Okay. So we got them all in place, and we're clamping as we go along because we're not supposed to nail this section. So hopefully you guys can see. Let me try to adjust the camera. There we go. So you can see the whole thing. So you can see the thing. I'm sure we're going to end up trimming all this after it's dry, but right now you can see we did the from this section that we left off in the last video, we went up, we cut out the cannon holes and the 4 little holes over here, and again we're going to file this out and adjust the shape when everything is super dry. Same thing with the back. So this is the conclusion of section K in the instruction manual. So this was part B of section K, and you can see we did the planking all the way up to the top. We glued the walls in position on the forecastle deck, and we did all the planking from the bulwarks up. So it's all set now, where we're actually going to trim and sand it down and all the planking on this side will have been done. I'm not quite sure, well, with the exception of a few spots, but I'm sure we're not going to put planks. We're going to put different sections. Like over here, we're probably going to put a section in over here, or it's going to be part of the captain's quarters that's going to hang off the back. And this section up front could be something that's going to be for the bow or the bowsprit, but we'll see. So my friends, I thank you so much for watching, and until my next video, we're going to go to section L, but I think what we got to do first is we actually have to prep the lighting kit. So the lighting kit will probably be the next video in this series. So my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.